Alright boys, settle down, make sure you've got a cup of tea ready. This is going to be a wild one. We've got a game that's over 30 minutes in length. And it's going to be Pan Stepan, which is Skysilver, and his Tech Marine on Greentooth Gorge, which he has played several thousands of games on. He's going to be facing the Lictor Alpha of Seraf. Interesting, Pan Stepan is not going for a scout spam, which, you know, he's kind of renowned for these days. And I would consider scout spam to be very good against Tyranids, probably the best instance of scout spam, if not Eldar, which I'm unsure about. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to have spawn mines coming out here from Seraf. Makes sense on a map like this. Garrisons are going to be super annoying for the Tyranids to deal with. And early on, this is going to be really bad with the Tech Marine. Oh, taking a lot of damage here straight away on the Termagants. Look at the amount of XP just from killing those two Termagant Brood models that the Tech Marine is going to get for himself. And right now in green cover with only one Termagant shooting out that window, this Tech Marine is basically uncontested. Just getting 3 kills on the Termagants here. Wisely, Seraf retreats. Really should have reacted sooner and not let this Tech Marine get that much free damage against him. Lictor's trying to do a little bit of a harassment down here. Honestly, Tats could probably have just caught the damn point and ignored him, then got into the garrison prior to losing a model. Spawn mines are now coming over, so Tactical Marines are going to have to flee from here, but it's really not a big deal. They were just denying him 1 requisition point, which, if this was Company of Heroes, and you had logistic lines, so you deny this rec point and then all the further out resources don't get anything, then that would be beautiful. It's not Company of Heroes, so he's still getting all the power over here. It just doesn't seem worth this much asset allocation when one flesh hook into focus fire from double Termagants, flesh hook the Tech Marine so he's not in any cover, and then attack him with the Lictor. That basically forced off the Tech Marine straight away. You don't have to worry about any garrisons. Okay, we've got Sniper Scouts coming out right now. Very interesting. I've not seen this yet. I've been hearing tales of the power of Sniper Scouts recently, which I've been told are good against Tyranids, good against Chaos, good against fucking everything. Good against OM, good against Space Marines. I definitely think Sniper Scouts are good against Space Marines. I've been advocating going for Sniper Scouts in the Space Marine mirror for years, even though I never frigging see it. But we'll see. We've got it against Tyranids right now. This certainly be pretty helpful to focus down Warrior Brood models. We'll see how effective Pan Stepan is able to use them for that purpose. Right now, just going to be peeling off models from the Hormagaunts, which I guess is fine. Double snipers it will be, so very defensive gameplay right now for Pan Stepan, which should be able to work out quite well for him thanks to the garrisons. A little bit of a misplay there, overextending the attacks too far forward, not expecting the warriors to be here. Otherwise he could have just stayed here, shot them, and took the garrison when they tried to get into melee. Warriors right now don't even want to go onto the gens. They don't have a lot of DPS, they're more tanks, so yeah, it would just be a waste. Instead they can take the line of sight blockers and just zone out the ranged units here of Pan Stepan. Only 1 generator up for Seraf. This is a misplay. He is floating massive amounts of requisition. Even if he wants Raveners, he should be dropping down a generator. There's no reason not to right now. No upgrades in his gaunts yet. So yeah, he really needs to drop a gen. Sniper's getting out here without losing a model is pretty nice for them. You gotta remember, when you get the Sniper Scout upgrade on your scouts, they actually cost power then to reinforce, which is pretty brutal certainly if you start losing a lot of models. This again does not feel worth it. He's probably gonna lose a model. So close retreat. Eee, just in time, man. I guess that was worth it. He didn't lose the model. And he got the decap. Devastators for Pan Stepan. A lot of bleed coming onto the Termagants here. I don't really like this push from the Termagants. They should probably just get out. They're 2 low models. Lictor Alpha will flesh hook there and get a kill. Hormagaunts are able to devour one of the gens, but the devs are now out of the building, causing a bit of a nuisance to themselves. And yeah, the double termagants get out of there. The whole time, we've had tactical marines cap this wreck point, now going for the VP. Pan Stepan is a little bit concerned about his VP situation, which is understandable. Already down 110 VPs, hasn't took any VPs off Seraf. The downside, of course, to this sniper build is that you do have a weaker, very early tier 1. But now he's getting his upgrades on him. He's got a sergeant on one of the scout squads. He's got his devs out, so he's, you know, he's fleshing out his tier 1. Seraf isn't going to just let him coast through tier 1 though. He's now got a Ravener squad, which is really good actually. The burrow can put a lot of pressure onto the scouts. Generally kill these guys anyway with range damage or jump units, and the Raveners have both. Not to mention, he now has a jump unit to counter the Devastators as well. So yeah, Raveners feel pretty good here. Now obviously if the Raveners are isolated... Ooh, very close to killing the Tech Marine there with the good old Toxin Miasma. One more hit would have done it. It's got to feel quite annoying that for Seraf. What I was going to say is if the Raveners are caught out in the open and they do get shot by snipers, it will be pretty painful. Raveners, they're not super durable. I'm not sure if 2 snipers will kill them. I'm pretty sure it won't. Look at that really annoying positioning there from Pan Stepan on the Devastators, able to just take the garrison straight away. But yeah, Toxin Miasma putting in some work. Gonna kill a tactical marine model there pretty damn quick. Can't push against this position though, thanks to the garrison. Frustrating. Ah, there you go. Bath Strangler comes out. Well, that counters the garrison. It's kind of a soft counter to the snipers as well. It's got to hit them though. Ooh, walking straight onto a grenade there with his Bath Stranglers. Causes backlash, hurts the Termagants and the Raveners. Raveners are now super low. Could start dropping models to the snipers. We've got a drop pod coming in as well. This is now a scary tier 1 force. Tyranids need to get tier 2 and get some... maybe get a Zone Throw. That could be interesting. Zone Throw and Endless Swarm. Could be pretty good. Definitely wants the leap on his Lictor Alpha for sure. Nah, you probably don't want a Zone Throw. Actually, it'll just get killed by snipers, won't it? He probably wants to go melee, and just the map is really tough. If it was any other map, this wouldn't be so concerning. I mean, flesh hooking the squad leader here on the scout squad is just disgusting. And he gets the kill. Oh my god. Pan Stepan was a little bit slow to retreat there. I think he was trying to throw a grenade at his feet, but he realized, oh shit, I don't have enough time, I'm gonna get fucking killed in melee. And then by the time he realized that, yeah, he was just a little bit too late and will die in retreat. Sad. So one of them scout snipers is already dealt with. Lictor is putting in so much work though, man. Once again, ambushing the Tech Marine, slowing him down with the Miasma, making him have to get out of here. Now trying to apparently take out the drop pod. Bath Strangler Warriors still in play, dropping a model to the sniper there. Bit of a greedy grenade. I mean, I guess the last time Seraf didn't dodge it either, so it was worth a shot. Potentially would have got the wipe on the Warriors. Well, this is incredibly risky. I guess, no, it's not that risky, because I was forgetting that one of the snipers is dead. I was going to say another sniper would come along and kill this guy, but I think the snipers are 130 damage per shot, so it wouldn't have been enough to kill him anyway. I don't know. They might do more damage against heavy infantry, now that I think about it. Not sure. No, it's not 130 damage per shot, is it? That seems to be too high. Might be 130 per shot after the extra damage because it's heavy infantry. Either way, Sniper's going to get wrecked here. You see the amount of range DPS coming out. Just forces them off quite quickly. We've got Signum Armor for the Tech Marine. Tech Marine is in tier 2, I didn't even realise. Both players are in tier 2. Signum Armor is the first choice, along with Stern Guard is going to be quite interesting. I really wish that Pan Stepan couldn't get away with not reinforcing those lost 2 models before turning to Sternguard. It's just a frustrating mechanic. But yeah, Hellfire rounds now loaded into the Sternguard are going to melt all these forces. Bow Strangler Warrior Brood really need to be tying up these Sternguard, but they're not. They're taking a lot of focus fire right now. Okay, Rippers are coming onto the field. That's cool. Hormagaunts tying up the Tactical Marines here, who are getting meleeed by Hormagaunts and Raveners. Rippers going to be going onto the Sniper Scouts. Rippers should disengage at this point and type the Sternguard. They're the primary threat. Oh, the garrisons are so annoying though. Tech Marine taking the bottom garrison against the Horms. Sternguard getting in the garrison up here. Now he could call in Spore Mines from the tower. And he's probably going to do that. He's taking his time right now to get the Gem Bash while he can. But yeah, this is a lot of ranged DPS. Just gets out of there with his forces. Doesn't want to bleed unnecessarily. I can't remember if the Rippers and the Spore Mines from the tower share a cooldown. So he just called in Rippers. I don't know if that also puts the cooldown onto Spore Mines. If so, that would explain what was going on there, because he wasn't able to call in the Spore Mines. Ripper play is going to be very important here for Seraf. And Seraf, honestly, needs to just start buying some squads. Holy shit, he's got over 1,000 requisition right now. Just get another warrior and give it adrenal glands. The Hellfire is going to rip up your Termagants and your Raveners, but Hellfire will do terribly against Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood. He also needs to get jump on the Lictor Alpha, Endless Swarm on the Termagants so they bleed less, gives them 2-for-1 reinforced, and it also increases the HP, so it's just a good generalist upgrade anyway. But yeah, we need to see constant calls in for Rippers to constantly tie up the Tech Marine and this Sternguard squad. We've now got a Tarantula turret in mid, and that is going to be problematic to push through. Ooh, god, a lot of damage coming into the Warriors. Got to get them out there again. Needs to get 4x Swarm on one of the Bow Strangler Warriors. Well, I say one of them on this one. And he has one. I think it is important for him to keep one Bow Strangler. Anti-Garrison on this map is a pain. We've actually got the enhanced muscle coil here, which is really cool. I like this upgrade, and it's going to prove extremely valuable. Ooh, okay, going to be burrowing forward. Does he get the kill? I really feel like he was just about to get that freaking kill. I don't know. Okay, he gets it anyway. That was obviously a delayed melee attack. He must have started to wind up the swing, then burrowed. So then it finished off the damage, even though the animation didn't play out. That's what caused that. What's that? Venom Brood? Okay, interesting. Ah, Venom Brood behind the turret. Okay, fair enough. And Pan Stepan's going to counter that by calling in Tactical Marines to tie up the Venom Brood. I love it. I love it. This is actually a great position here for Pan Stepan, because he can't even... Seraph can't even take the garrison because of the Sternguard here, which could put in Dragonfire rounds, which essentially do... They're like the default Sternguard damage, and they just ignore cover. So, oh my, oh, bad retreat path there. Raveners getting killed by the Tarantula turret. That's sad. Those enhanced muscle coil Raveners were very useful, preventing any further Devastator play. And like I said, I would have been going Adrenal Gland Warriors, so then they would have been buffing the enhanced muscle coil. This is optimistic. This is too much damage, you would think. Yeah, and now the turret can kill him in retreat, potentially. Oh no, Seraph. He is misjudging things here. Way too greedy to try and kill the turret. Chill out, my guy. You've got a big VP lead, you've got a big tech lead, you're floating crazy resources. Just chill out, you don't need to kill this turret right now. Now he's going to be bleeding again. Scouts and Tech Marine able to double repair it because of the armor type of the turret. It's taking very little damage, so the 20 HP per second that it's getting healed from repairs is sufficient. It's more than the damage that the Termagants can output, and they just bleed a couple of models. Not a lot, but they're forced off the map, and now the Tax can go out, use their superior capping speed. Sternguard have that as well, and gain back a bit of map control that shouldn't have been so easy for Pan Stepan to gain. Hormagaunts here with no upgrades, I don't know why. If you've got this many resources, you should definitely be getting some upgrades, and noding this power as well when you've got that much requisition would only make sense. It would only make sense. There is a value in floating a small amount of resources so that you can wait to see what the enemy gets, and then you can build a counter to it. So you're not like automatically getting countered by the enemy. But it's only a small amount, right? Because there is also an advantage to always spending your resources. Resources that you do not spend represents less manpower on the field. Less manpower on the field generally means less bleed onto the opponents, more bleed onto yourself, and less map control for yourself. It does also mean more upkeep, but generally it results in a worse eco if you got worse units because you have inferior map control. And it's why heavy tier 1s are so meta in the Elite mod. My point is, for Seraf to be floating this much resources is frankly a little bit ridiculous. And once again, he walks right in front of that turret. It was a bit of a calculated play this time. Venombrute are going to be moving in, trying to finish it off. But man, that rear Termagant squad is not looking so great right now. Okay, he does get it. We got triple tax now. Yeah, we've had that for a while, didn't we, when the next drop pod came in. So the Venombrute's going to try and take out the drop pod. Termagants, I don't know what they're doing. Why is that 2-model Termagant squad still in this fight? That thing should have been gone a long time ago. I feel like Pan Stepan could have focused down the Termagant squad there as well. I don't know what he was really trying to focus on. Omnigots might die in retreat to melee here again. Oh, with Signum armor they definitely will. Yeah. Feels bad, man. Like that just feels unnecessary. Why? What's this? Oh my god, this is a Venerable Dreadnought. How did Pan Stepan get to tier 3 as well? I don't know, but he did. He has a Venerable Dreadnought. So that's problematic. Oh no, why has Seraf gone for a Barb Strangler Carnifex? Strangleform Cannon as they call it. Which is a giant Barb Strangler, but now it's got no melee resist. It's going to get absolutely wrecked in melee by a Venerable Dreadnought. And at least the Venom Cannon would be able to output some good range DPS to it, but not a Strangleform Cannon. Oh, for God's sake, Seraf! He's gone for Death Spitters as well, so now he has no Venom Cannons on his Venom Brood. But he's flying stupid amounts of requisition. He needs to node this power and start getting... God, he could node the power and just buy double Venom Brood. Then he'd have a load of DPS to focus down this Venerable Dreadnought. As it stands, he's going to be calling in a Venom Brood. I don't really see the point of that when he's got this much resources. Just buy them manually. He's got a massive VP lead as well, so it's not like time is of the essence. Very strange. Very, very strange. No leap on the Lictor as well also seems pretty damn strange to me. Lictor trying his best to sort of stall against these units on the side here, and he does. And it's pretty good, because if you'll notice the VP situation here, Pan Stepan is bleeding VPs very quickly. He doesn't even own his natural right now. Finally gets the Thorax Swarm and the Warrior Brood with the Barb Strangler here, so... could shoot out an Electroshock Grub onto the Venerable Dreadnought. He's got to be really careful with the Warrior positioning. If he moves the Warrior to here, and he needs to retreat, he's going to retreat through the melee. Let's have a look at the XP. You know what? Considering this is Space Marines versus Tyranids, and we're in tier 3, there is not a lot of XP on Pan Stepan's forces. Well, there goes the Electroshock Grub. We've got a bit of focus fire coming in from the Venom Brood. Really needs to micro his Death Spitters to be shooting at the Tech Marine. Does force them off. Barb Strangler Carnifex just going to force melee with the plasma attacks there. That's pretty nice. Yeah, and now he can force melee with the Dreadnought with this fire support of a Venom Brood squad. Why not? Blessing through the Omnissiah has gone down. The Venerable Dreadnought will just focus his attention onto the Venom Brood. Man, imagine if he didn't have Death Spitters now but had double Venom Cannons. Bloody hell. I don't know why Seraf is not buying another Venom Brood squad when he's got this much resources. He's against a Tech Marine as well, so I mean it might feel like a little bit of overkill, which it isn't. 2 AV squads is pretty damn normal against most vehicles, never mind tier 3 walkers. But even if it is overkill, it doesn't matter. He's got so much resources, he can afford it. Oh, the Bow Strangler actually putting in some really good work there. Wow. Bleeding the hell out of those Marines. Now, the Carnifex should be tying up the Tech Marine in melee. Yeah, that was a weird play. I don't really understand what... I don't know why Seraf is still in this engagement, to be honest. Why did he stay in with a Barb Strangler Carnifex? Does he even realise he's got Death Spears? What is going on right now? And that was a beautiful charge from the Vendread. Wow. Pops another model. I don't think the backlash killed anything though. Man. Is the global off cooldown to call in another Venom Brood squad? I mean, that could be the end of the Dreadnought if it was off cooldown, but apparently not. Okay, well, the Venom Brood's running down now, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. A lot of units coming out to reinforce. Well, not that many. Well, yeah, a lot of units, but not a lot of models on those units. That's going to be the drop pod. Can the Lictor Alpha kill that model before... No. No, he can't. There's a lot of boys coming out of the drop pod there. That was a very cost-effective drop pod. I do like to see that. That was good play. And the Signum armor going down and the Lictor Alpha going to get rid of him very quickly, making him take that extra damage. Now you can see the value of the Death Spears there though, even with And They Shall Know No Fear and being level 2, those Tactical Marines are taking a lot of damage here in range. You can see the little sort of poisony, smelly visual effect. That indicates that you're being hit by Death Spitters. So that's one way to tell that you're not getting shot by a Venom Brood with Venom Cannons, you're getting shot by a Venom Brood with Death Spitters. And also the little pew-pew balls are smaller. I think a bit darker as well. The gun does change too. Looks different. It's not super obvious. You'll notice these are really long, are the Venom Cannons. We all love long, dark Venom Cannons. These things are more short and wide. So I know someone before was mentioning in the comments how they wished that there was a bit more differentiation, or that the visual effects and the Death Spitters were a bit better. I think it's not too bad. I mean, Tyranid guns aren't super distinct, you know. Like Flesh Borer Termagants versus Devourer Termagants. Could you imagine that? That would be a bit of a nightmare. Should be forcing melee right now. Especially the Warriors do really solid damage in melee. Yeah, good. Okay, there you go. Sergeant's dead and 2 more Tactical Marines. That's very expensive for Pan Stepan, but he's not in a bad spot because he's got a Predator coming out. I see the problem for Pan Stepan. It's his bloody VPs. He can't seem to hold 2 VPs for very long at all. And I mean, it's kind of understandable. Tyranids are the fast race, and this Lictor Alpha is being an absolute pain in the ass. You gotta appreciate how he's calling in the towers, and then getting Spore Mines at the towers to prevent the garrison play. It's annoying, it's expensive for the Tyranid, an extra 50 wreck every so often on these Spore Mines, but it's worth it. Wow, rear armor shots here coming in from the Venom Brood, but the plasma attacks should be able to keep this Predator alive. Yeah, especially because they lost a model, now they're only doing 66% of their normal damage. With the plasma attacks contributing and then tying them up in melee, yeah. It's going to be the Predator alive for now, but they've got a Swarmlord to contend with, so we're going to need to get the twin-linked las cannon out, I think. Tech Marine playing it very, very risky there, and he does fail. Trying to get into the garrison after using that Signum armor, but didn't quite make it. Swarmlord is inherently a support unit, so I'm not really sure about this use of him just chasing down a tank, and in theory if the tank is microed correctly, it shouldn't get caught by the Swarmlord. Tech Marine's repurchased as well, so now we've got a Melter Gun on the field. I don't know why the Swarmlord is trying to take a duel with the Venerable Dreadnought. I appreciate that there is a Venom Brood nearby to try and support, but this is a terrible idea. We've got Leech Essence coming down from the Swarmlord, but he doesn't have a lot to leech. There's literally 3 models around him right now, so he's not really healing much at all, and he's gonna die to the Predator. Pan messing up his micro, letting his Tech Marine die once again. That was not really necessary, but he just called in another drop pod, and the scouts are over here capping the point. They're popping Venom Brood models. We do have a second Venom Brood coming out. I don't know why they are not dealing with the Venerable Dreadnought. Apparently the Swarmlord killed the Predator. What? How did that happen? I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's pinned against the wall, so I don't know. But in theory, the Predator should just be able to keep driving away from the damn thing. And indeed the stoicism on the Venerable Dreadnought has now been procced. So once this runs out, it will die. So this looks pretty damn bad for Pan. The problem for him, he does actually have a better army right now, but the problem is that he doesn't have the resources for really anything else. And Seraf has a lot of resources and a lot of VPs. Way too many VPs. Really surprised that Seraf went for the Adrenal Glands and not the Leap. I feel like if you're running your Lictor as a solo sidecapper, the Leap's mobility is kind of invaluable, but I don't know, we didn't see it here for some reason. Weird. Swapping between the Adrenal Glands and the Toxic Cysts. Seraf, why did you go for the Adrenal Glands? Was it for the energy regen in between fights, or what? Strange. Okay, so now we got double Death Spitters, and this is actually a good time for the double Death Spitters. You see their power here as well. They focus fired that Tech Marine real quick. Forced off those guys. Pretty decent orbital bombardment. I'm not going to catch everything. Probably wipe these guys. Oh wow, they're just going to live? Really? Live on 81 HP, 2 models? Wow. But the Lictor Alpha's presence here is going to be problematic. Venom Brood here are actually bloody killing the building. But plasma guns are scary. Gonna have to back off. I don't know what Seraf is doing. What is he waiting for? Just get units. There's only 26 VPs left for Pan. You don't need to go for some elaborate composition. You don't need a Carnifex right now. You literally just need units to throw at him so that he can't cap and you win on VPs. And, you know, normally that might be a questionable decision, but he's got like 1,000 requisition. So he can afford to throw a few units at his enemy to stall out VPs. Oh, nice retreat grenade there. That was really nice actually, because he'd been running for a while, that Lictor Alpha, so they gain speed the longer they retreat. Generally makes it harder to predict the retreat grenade the longer something's been retreating, because the higher it is from its normal speed that you develop muscle memory for. And another beautiful drop pod, wow. A lot of free reinforcements there from that one. I mean, nothing is going to be able to beat this in a ranged fight. Death Spitters or no Death Spitters, you do not want to take this on in a ranged fight. Level 4, level 1, fully upgraded plasma attacks. However, if you have melee, then you could take this on. Again, it's a shame that there's no enhanced muscle core Raveners. They would have been beautiful. Rippers will be very helpful here. Rippers and Lictor Alpha both engaging at the same time. Now we're getting the deadly jump. This is hilarious. He's just going for every single war gear. Now he's got feeder tendrils as well. What is going on here? But yeah, you see the value of the Rippers here. They're just taking so long to get rid of. You'd rather focus fire onto the Venom Brood and not try and kill the Rippers. There goes a leap and a dead Lictor apparently. So I don't know why Seraf is like committing so hard to these fights. It doesn't really make any sense. He's got another Swarmlord on the way, which you would think would probably be GG. Swarmlord plus Rippers is kind of crazy as a combo, because the Swarmlord lets you reinforce things nearby, and Rippers reinforce for like 1 wreck or something. Yeah, 1 wreck. So, reinforcing Rippers for 1 wreck in the middle of combat. Also, they get a speed buff from being near the Swarm Lord. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Basically, you need to kill the Swarm Lord before you can kill the Rippers. Unless you have a massive amount of DPS to put onto the Rippers. But then that would be a waste of the DPS, right? Because you're only killing Rippers with your massive DPS. So yeah, this synergy will be good. He's now got double Rippers. And obviously you can just start accumulating these. Indeed, he should just keep the double Rippers with the Swarm Lord and they'll be basically unkillable. There's only the Meltagun Tech Marine, so the Swarm Lord just goes after the Meltagun Tech Marine and the Rippers just tie up the attacks and keep reinforcing for 1 wreck. These guys are already level 4 as well, so feeding them XP is often a concern when you're just throwing away Rippers like that. But they're already level 4, so who gives a shit? They can't get any higher level than that. And we're going to see another Tactical Marine called in here, just going on to the point. Panstepan, clearly quite concerned about the VPs at this point. He just wants to try anything he can to get the VPs down. Will we see another retreat grenade? Yeah, that's late. That's really late. Kills the Termagant. Okay. And we got more plasma attacks here onto the natural of Seraf. Here we go, we got the Swarm Lord out in the field, going to be advancing with the double Rippers down the left-hand side of the map. But Panstepan doing a good job rotating away from that, not going to waste his forces over in this direction. Tactical Marines can just take the garrison. None of these units can cap, so it's kind of a waste of these assets. They're not really achieving a whole lot. You know, they're just getting kited by a scout squad. And the Swarm Lord is the only thing that does any significant amount of damage to Space Marines, so just a waste of time. So we'll get onto this point here. It might be an idea to go for Menacing Visage. That would instantly force off the attacks. It doesn't matter right now, he's actually just forced them off instantly anyway. Flesh hooks the Sergeant and then kills him. But yeah, the Swarm Lord Ripper combo is very, very difficult to deal with. You need Predators to focus down the Swarm Lord. You really could do with a las cannon to snare the damn thing. Or melt a bomb. And Panstepan doesn't have any of these things. Oh, it's so frustrating. Look at the Rippers here. He thought he just had them and they just keep reinforcing after this damn Swarm Lord. He needs to pull the Swarm Lord away from the Rippers, or move the attacks away from the Swarm Lord, one or the other. But you see, it's a great counter to the composition that Panstepan was running, because he's not running a balanced composition, he's literally just spamming attacks. So he is very vulnerable to this kind of play.
The enemy is capturing one of our strategic points.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he loses now because he can't deal with this combo, the Swarm Lord and the Rippers. Nice damage coming out of the double Death Spitters here. They're level 4 attacks as well, that's quite impressive. Focus firing the Tech Marine. I mean, all that plasma does kill the Venom Brood quite fast, but you can reinforce off the Swarm Lord. You've got a bit of a... what is that ability? Swarm of Blades? Flurry of Blades? I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a Venerable Dreadnought now as well. Damn, something needs to get onto the point. Lictor Alpha should probably be infiltrating and going off the point. Yeah, just let the swarm of Rippers tie things up. Oh, that's the end of the game. I completely didn't realize he's got these 2 points anyway, so he's draining the final VPs of Panstepan. So he doesn't need the natural, and that is going to be the GG. Yeah, beautiful work, beautiful combo. I mean, really throwing away the first Swarm Lord. I'm not sure how Panstepan let the Predator die to a Swarm Lord. That seems very, very strange to me. But he did. But unfortunately for him, the attack spam didn't work out for him this time. Not able to counter the power of Swarm Lord plus Rippers. Isn't it a beautiful sight? Look at all the carnage. So many dead bodies on the map. That is going to be all from your boy Torpid this time, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Torpid signing out.